Hey everybody, Blair Nightingale here. It's 6 o'clock. It's time. I'm going to give it a few minutes for some other people to get in. We're starting right at 6 p.m. right on the button. You can see I've obviously got my charts up on the screen. So we're not just going to talk today. We're going to go through some actual stock trading skills, some charts. You've seen the title if you've signed up for this. We're going to do some paper trading today. And from now till about 6:30, 6:40, we're going to dive right in. So stick with us here. Every now and then on Market Monday, we like to come around to what I call home base, and let's actually get into the market and do some practice. And tonight, I'm going to show you something new that we offer that's going to help you practice. If you've watched me do a paper trading session before, there are two kinds of main ways that you can paper trade. I will tell you both and I will focus on one. Tonight, we're going to get to focus on the other, which I think is more fun because it's actually more real. It's actually better paper trading. It's better practice. I'm going to explain that and more in just a little bit. Of course, I can see you guys piling into the class here. So thank you for being on. If you have a question, comment, concern, anything, go ahead, pop it into the comment. If you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, doesn't matter. Pop it in the comment box. We had lots of conversation last week. People have questions. And when are you going to get a time throughout the week if you are not in a Tradeway program already, which, by the way, gives you access to coaches? Wouldn't it be great to have somebody teach you how we stock trade and then coach you along the way, right? This isn't just set it and forget it. No, we're going to actually do this hands-on with you. But here we are on Monday night, and you can ask me whatever questions you want. It can be to do with what we are doing tonight, which of course is paper trading, or you can just ask me a question about stock trading, investments, anything you want, right? So you can throw that in there, and I will be sure to get to that. Of course, you can just say hi, as so many of our friends do when they come on here. Let me know where you are, where you're coming from. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. You can see on the screen right now, just so you know what you're looking at, this is what we call Charts by Tradeway. We have our own charting software. It does a lot of things that we're not going to look at tonight, but it helps you to know what to buy, when to buy, and why would you buy it. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a tool that helped you know, when should I buy a stock? When should I sell a stock? It's not guessing, gambling, or going for it. That's what I always say. Trading is not guessing, gambling, or going for it. Trading is using a skill set that we can easily teach you so that you know what to do, right? So you know what to do. So that's what you're looking at on the screen. I can see some more of you coming in here. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Paper trading. But before I do that, I'm sharing this screen. I want to just talk a little bit about the market today. Obviously, if any of you were paying attention to the market today, some of us were, some of us weren't. Some of us on here have traded before. Some of us have never traded. You're just curious. Some of us, maybe this broadcast was sent to you, right? You're watching after the fact. A lot of you guys will watch this in recording. We're happy to have you either way, but you may not know anything about trading right now. You may. So I understand that we're all at different spots, but listen, what we're going to talk about today is going to be helpful for you no matter where you are. Look at today. Look at the last 4 or 5 days, you guys. The market has been, let me get rid of this here, minimize that, bigger screen. The market's been climbing, climbing, climbing. It comes down, hits this line, which we call support, bounced up, failed to get back to the level it was at before, and then it started to fall. We really knew something was up when it got below this bottom line, this support line, right? Support should actually support the price. In this case, it didn't. It broke through, and this thing went into a free fall. But here's what I want to show you today, all right? I've talked a little bit on here about why market conditions are changing. Remember, you can always go to YouTube and watch previous broadcasts of Market Monday. And to plug that really quickly, if you went back and you watched them all and strung them together, you're actually going to get a tremendous amount of value learning how to stock trade because we've covered so many things on this program before. That said, you can always go back and see more of my thoughts that I've given in previous weeks, even this year, on what's going on, why the market is changing, why would it be falling? Ask yourself that question. Would it be helpful for me and my family? Would it be helpful for me and my money to know why the market is doing what it's doing? The answer should be yes. Because if there's opportunity in the stock market, which there is, the only difference between you and someone who is participating is that they are actually doing it, and hopefully they're doing it with the knowledge to do it safely. That's what we here at Tradeway want to help you do. So back to the market. Here's something I want to show you guys. Let's stop for a second and ask ourselves a question. We talked last week about some of those funny phrases we throw around, right? What I don't know won't hurt me. Ignorance is bliss. And it's easy to say that, and you get the sense that I'm probably poking fun at it, that it's probably not where I'm going with this. But it helps us understand that there is a mindset. If I just don't get involved, if I just don't learn anymore, it's not that big of a deal. But actually, when you're looking at the market tanking, the NASDAQ, right, the index that primarily tracks tech stocks, is down 18% as of today. 18%. A lot of portfolios are in tech stocks. A lot of retirement accounts are exposed to tech stocks, and it's down 18%. 20% is officially a bear market. Now, the S&P that you're looking at on the screen here is down about 10%. Okay, so we're not there on the broader index of the S&P. But what am I saying? I'm saying that as things are moving down, if you've got any exposure to the market, this is going to affect you in some way. And even if you don't have any exposure to the market right now, what are the opportunities here? So when we talked last week about, well, actually what you know can really help you right now on Market Monday, I'm going to show you one thing right in front of your eyes right now. Very, very simple. And it shows us exactly why the market turned around today. And let me explain what I mean very quickly. You see these red candlesticks, it's falling, falling, falling. Well, what is this guy, right? Some of you haven't been taught what a candlestick is, but just to keep it really simple for us tonight, the green is when it moved up, the red is when it moved down. Well, this one's green. But see this long wick we've got here? That means at one point, this candlestick, which is today, was a huge red candlestick. That's 200 points down for the market today. 200 points is a very big move. But what happened? It reversed. It hit the bottom, right where you can see my line is, and it went all the way up. Now, if you knew when a stock was going to turn direction, if you knew when it was much more likely for a stock to turn directions, how many of you guys think that maybe that would be very helpful information? Right? Power pause. I'm thinking about it for a second because it's kind of an obvious question, isn't it? If you could anticipate when the stocks are going to turn, you can't guarantee, but you can anticipate. That would be a massive asset. You think, well, it's got to be more complicated than that. It's got to be more difficult than that, right? But what if it isn't? What if it isn't? Let's do what I said we were going to do. Right in front of our eyes today, let me go ahead and change my chart here. Charts by Tradeway. It gives us lots of cool little things we can do. Now I've got all these lines on here. All right. We're not going to worry about those too much right now. Some of you know what they are. Some of you don't. They're what we call moving averages. They really just plot an average of the price over time. And you and I never even have to think about how that works. The software just does it for us. Let me go ahead and do something here. You're getting to see how this software works. Bingo. 300-day moving average on the chart. Now, this isn't just in hindsight, folks. I posted this at 10:15 this morning. Hey, we ought to watch the 300-day moving average as the market was absolutely tanking, getting obliterated, where most people are afraid of what's happening in the market, where most people are losing money, right? I'm looking at the 300-day moving average. Tradeway students are looking at the 300-day moving average. Now, was there a guarantee that it was going to go up at the 300? Did everybody run out and buy stocks, right? No, but we knew where to look next for a higher probability of reversal in the market, and that's exactly what happened. Let me zoom it in a little bit just so you can see. this candlestick right here, does it look pretty darn close to that 300-day moving average? You say, Blair, I never heard of that before. I never heard of the 300-day moving average. I never used anything like that before. Well, that's why I say what you know can help you. I used to liken this to oil. What if you owned property and you knew there was oil under your feet, right? You had never known there was, and then you learned that there was. What's the challenge? Well, you got to get it out of the ground. And when it comes to stock trading, the difference between you and getting out of the ground what's under the ground, right? The potential you have to do that is a skill set. That's what's standing for me and you between the oil that's under our feet and the ability to benefit from that. It's learning, it's knowledge. And I'm showing you one simple thing right now, today. Now you say, Blair, do you think the market's going to go all the way back up to here, or is it going to do that, or what's it going to do tomorrow? See, that's where we continue to apply the skill set. I use the same thing that I use today. Where is it probable? Where does the skill set that I've learned from Tradeway? Remember, I started as a brand new student who knew nothing back in 2015, right? Winter of 2015. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that skill set. You think you can't learn it? I promise you can, because I've done it knowing nothing about the market, nothing about economics, nothing about money, nothing, right? I knew how to save a little bit of money. That's the only education I had in money at the time. So that should bring us some confidence for sure. Now look at this and tell me that wouldn't be extremely useful today, right? Extremely useful today. So if learning more matters, well, then we ought to learn more. Now, sometimes we just go, well, I don't know where, and I don't know how, and I don't think I'll know how to do that without help. And remember what I mentioned at the opening of the broadcast. That's what we help you do. Before the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join us and learn a lot more about stock trading, a lot more about this charting software, and it's going to be free. It's going to be free for you to join too. So you'll want to stick around for that, because I'm going to drop how you can get involved in that. If you're thinking, gosh, I'd sure like to know, how do I get to the oil under my feet? Because you may not be so familiar with stock trading, but today was a huge move, huge reversal. Again, it wasn't guaranteed, but that's what the skill set can do for us. Troy says, drill, baby, drill, right? And that's what we're doing. Isn't that what we're doing? Except you know what's cool about stock trading? It doesn't require even close to the kind of manpower, the kind of money, right? The kind of time that it would require to actually drill into the ground, right? A lot of businesses require a lot of expertise, a lot of capital, a lot of planning time, right? An at-home stock trading business, one of the easiest businesses you could ever start. What's the thing you got to do? Learn how to do it. That's the piece, right? The infrastructure, chances are you're watching this on a laptop or a computer right now. So you've already got almost everything you need to actually start. The only thing you probably don't have, and I know some of you do, I can see some comments even here from Troy, who's in our program. The only thing you need is to learn how. And that's, of course, what we do here. So you can see today already we're introducing, we're going to talk about paper trading, but I wanted to start talking about the market, because what's happening is just going to be more and more in the news. It's been very volatile, but look what happened today. No need for fear. No need for fear. So that's one great thing, isn't it? We can have some mastery, some expertise. If we've got long-term money, we've got 401k, we're looking for retirement, the different things we're trying to do. Maybe we're paying tuition. Maybe we're saving for tuition. It's a college fund. It's debt. Whatever it is for you, maybe it's just a phone bill. What if you could pay a car payment every month, right? What if you had an at-home stock trading side hustle and you were just paying your car payment? For some of us, huge win. What if you're just paying the mortgage, right? What if you could pay the mortgage every month, right? What if that was the potential we're getting a hold of here, right? You're actually taking, I like to tell people, if you make money in your job, and you put it in your trading account and you're able to make even just your mortgage, then you're taking money that you made, you're making money with the money, And then you're taking the money that you made with the money and you're putting it into a property where it has the potential to make money, right? There's a domino effect we're getting at here, guys, that can be game changer. And the first thing is just getting our mindset thinking differently about what's possible with our money, and then learning how to do it safely. And that's where our program and coaches come in, as I've said multiple times tonight. Troy says, when was the last time the markets hit the 300-day moving average? Been a while. Let's go ahead and look at a 3-year daily. I'd be surprised if it even hit it outside of COVID. So you can see the recovery on COVID. We hit a high here and then pulled back, but really it wasn't until we broke through. Now you have to imagine, because this is a 300-day, right? So it broke through it down here in COVID, right? When COVID, March 2020, broke down. So long time, which shows how significant this move is, right? We had been moving to the 50-day, then we started moving to the 100. You can see that. And I've been saying that on Market Monday. I've been saying that in our programs. We're seeing a change. Doesn't have to be, we don't need an economics degree to see, economic conditions are changing. How? Because in our program, we teach you how to use these moving averages. It used to move to the 50, which is a shorter one, this blue line, and it started moving deeper, right? The bounces were happening lower at the 100-day. That says something. You say, well, Blair, what does it say? Well, we're going to go into more of that in our programs on how to really get a handle on that. Today's a good preview for you guys, but certainly, like I said, you can see that 300-day moving average right down there. Just the next logical average below the 200-day moving average. Okay, so that is what happened in the market. But we're on here to talk about paper trading, aren't we? Talking about paper trading. So what I've set up for us so far in this broadcast is that what you know can help you. It has that potential. And that's what Tradeway is all about. But it's going to take some time to get to know that. Is it so hard to do? No, it's not, for a few reasons. Number one, we're going to give you great tools to be able to do it. Number two, we're going to give you great coaches to help you know how to do that. We take people. This is something I've always said Tradeway does fantastic, right? They do it really well, better than anybody, is taking folks who don't know anything about stock trading and get them into a place where they are confident doing something that they probably never even thought they would ever do. But it's 2022 and we're all looking for more stability, different opportunities. We're looking to put our money to work, steward the finances that God has given us. How many know you make that check, you make that check, you make that check, but if we don't do something with it that reproduces, it just always flies away, right? That's what the scripture says. Surely riches spread wings and fly away. And that's how it feels. That's the old saying, right? Easy come, easy go. But what if that's a limiting mindset? What if easy come, easy go is not the Lord's mindset? What if that's not a kingdom mindset? What if that is a mindset of lack? What is it? What if that's a mindset of the curse? What if that's a mindset that was spoken over Adam? You're going to have to work the ground and it's going to be hard and it's going to produce for you thorns. That's the curse. But the cross breaks the curse. So we want to think with kingdom mindsets. Easy come, easy go. I think we can do better, but we've got to give the Lord something to work with, right? I know I'm speaking to some people on that one. Paper trading, what we're looking at tonight, I'm going to give you 2 ways to paper trade is really this. It's practicing your trading. It's going in and it's actually working the system that we teach you, but you're able to practice it in a way that's almost like riding the bike on the grass, right? When you're a kid, you can fall over, you can fall off the bike, but it's really not going to hurt, right? It's going to be fine. It's a great way to practice because you can just take a soft landing. And when you paper trade, there's always a soft landing because you're not using real money. You can build confidence paper trading. You can find out if you're doing the mechanics of it right? Some of us have never gone into a brokerage account and purchased a stock before, right? Some of us have never used the charting software of this that you're looking at here, or maybe any other charting software. This might be new. This might not be, right? You might be learning a new strategy. You might be an advanced trader. We teach advanced strategies here at Tradeway, and you might want to just practice the new strategy, right? We always say that we want to trade bigger after we learn to trade better. right? But how can I practice paper trading? Paper trading, two ways to paper trade. Okay, two ways to paper trade. You can go into your charting software and you can go back in time, right? I could literally do this and I'm clicking backwards. I can go back in time and then go through my watch list. Now, there's only two stocks here on the left, but in the Tradeway software, we've got tons of watch lists, right? We've got a lot of watch lists in here that are a part of the software, but also ones that we have added. Okay. We've also got other, I'm holding back on the temptation to go into a bunch of other things that charting will do for you. We've got specific strategies that we teach you at Tradeway. Well, guess what? The charting software will do an automatic search for those stocks. So that's pretty cool, pretty easy to do with that. And since they are strategies that we teach, you're not going to find that anywhere else. It's very, very helpful. But that said, you can simply go back in time. This is the first way to do it. And I'll show you what I mean here just on the screen even. Let's say we see this stock come into support right there, right? I'm going to go one more forward so that number's not in the way. And I'm going to zoom in from about here. It hits this 100-day, hits it again, hits it again, hits it again. We maybe traded it there at the 100-day. Maybe let's just be conservative, right? And say that we didn't. Comes down, hits it again, and bounces up. So what we would simply do is we would write down the price. Be fair. It isn't usually the very, very best buying price, the very bottom, somewhere in the middle there. But we could say that that's where we got into the stock. Of course, we're looking at the S&P 500 here. And then we just move day by day, right? You just go forward in time. It helps to go much further back in time so that you're less familiar with what's happening. And what do? We buy at support and we sell at resistance. So here we would get to the top. Of course, we wouldn't know that for sure if we go back in time enough. And then the stock falls, right? That's how we can paper trade. Now, that is what we've focused on every time. You've seen me do that here on Market Monday multiple times. So if you search Tradeway paper trading, you can actually join us for a session where we go through and we do some paper trading just like that, right? We pick a stock, we pick a pattern, and we actually walk through the trade. I want to show you something a little bit different today because this is what our Tradeway students are doing now when they want to paper trade. Remember I said there's two kinds. I'm going to get back to where we're supposed to be. There we go. There's two kinds. That's the first kind, right? That is a helpful way of doing it because you can just go back in time. You can sit where I am right now at home and you can do 15 paper trades if you want in less than an hour, right? You can write down where you got out, write down where you're getting in, where you're getting out, where you're stopping out. How many did you win? How many did you lose? How many out there think that would be really helpful information for building your confidence? Really helpful information for asking good questions. Is the system working for you? How can a coach help you make it even better? All those kinds of things come out of that kind of paper trading. But the main thing is that you could do it quickly. Okay. But what I'm going to show you here is what we call virtual trading, right? So this isn't a big jump from what I just described, but it is a little bit different. Now, in the software, we have the ability to go in and actually virtual trade. So we won't be able to jump forward a day and backwards a day, the same that I just described, but we're actually going to look for a stock, right? And we're going to purchase the stock in real time, but we're going to use virtual money, right? We're going to use fake money. You say, Blair, that's not any fun. I don't want to trade with fake money. I want to get in there with real money. But if you want to get consistent, you can go in and you can practice. And then as soon as you're ready, you can go over into what we call small money trading. We take you through a real specific process in terms of moving from paper trading to small money to your real trading, right? That process is very important. We're not going to get into that so much today, but we start with paper trading. And you can use this virtual trading. Well, Blair, where do I virtual trade? How do I do that? I've actually already set this up, but in our software, you can come in and you can set up a virtual trading account. I simply click on this. In here, if you had another broker, you can use that. Of course, we're just trying to do the paper trading, and I click continue and I add the account, which I've actually already done, right? So now I have 2 of them. And then I can come right in here and now I'm on, let me go to Apple stock here. So let's just say I wanted to buy Apple stock today and I wanted to practice. I would come in here and I could actually place a trade in a virtual account, right? I can click on buy, order ticket, how many shares I want to buy. Let's say I want to buy, we'll just even keep it simple, 100 shares, right? 100 shares, 16,000 bucks. Boom, get in. If the share goes up $1, right, I'm going to make 100 bucks. Remember, we did an options preview last week. For those of you who were there, I'm reminding you, for those of you who weren't, you definitely want to go back and watch that options. If you're looking at that 16,225 right there to buy 100 shares of Apple and you're sweating, you ought to go back and watch the options preview we did last week. Because guess what? Wouldn't it be cool if you could trade a whole lot of Apple stock, like maybe 100 shares, for a fraction of that price, say 10 to 15% of that price? You say, how's that possible? Watch that episode, because that is exactly what I show you. If anybody who's on here was there last week, you can certainly vouch for that. Options are pretty cool, even if you've never heard of them, right? We're going to show you that. And you can go back, like I said, and watch last week's episode. But that's how you would go in and be able to trade this stock today. Here's something that I shared with some students today. Look at the pattern, okay? It comes down to support, up to resistance, down to support, up to resistance, down to support. This is where the market failed, dropped. Are we in the pattern yet? No, we're not. It's recovering, but we're not in that yet. So we've got a pattern here, but we need to see this continue. What you could do if it works, right? Now, you don't have to do this particular stock, right? I'm not saying you should go out and buy this stock right now. In fact, I'm saying you shouldn't, as far as our system is concerned, go out and buy the stock right now. It's not at a buy point, but you can practice this. You can practice this. If it comes back above support and it's bouncing and there's buyers and the market tone is positive, like we teach in our system, then you could actually just paper trade this, right? You can go in and you can practice your skill sets. So wait a second, Blair. I could potentially find out if I'm any good at getting to the oil under my feet, right? But I don't actually have to spend any real money, risk, I should say, any real money doing this kind of practice. And the answer is yes, you don't. You don't have to, right? So when we look at it from that perspective, it's actually really cool. And when I've learned new strategies along the way, I have paper traded. Now, full disclosure, I don't stay stuck. I don't stick with paper trading for a long time, right? I want to get into the actual trading, but to make sure that I understand how to do the strategy, I can paper trade it, right? So that's something that is really a huge asset for us. And you can see right here in the charting software, we provide that for you, right? It's very easy to do. Delgado says practice step 1 first, correct? So step 1, some of you might be wondering, well, what is step 1? Step 1 is where we show you, it's our very first event. It's our introductory event, right? It's what I like to call our foundational event. Because it's not just the quote basics, right? It's the foundation. Wherever you go in the Tradeway program, however great of a stock trader you become, and that's our goal, is to make you a great stock trader, you will use what you learned in step 1 no matter what strategy you do. So it is the foundational course in everything we teach. It's what takes the guessing, the gambling, the going for it out of trading and makes it into a real skill set, right? So should I practice step 1 first? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. And you should even from time to time go back and review it. Now, as a student and as somebody who traveled with some of the Tradeway speakers, when we used to do a lot more live events around the country before COVID, it would be an opportunity for me to hear the step 1 teaching over and over And it isn't a line at all to say that I learned something every time I heard that message, every time I heard that foundational course, because it's so important. You really do. You learn a lot of good stuff. So if you want to know how to stock trade and you're just starting, you want to get back to the basics. Maybe you're not just starting, but you're not getting the results that you want. You ought to join us. If you haven't taken that step one, tradeway.com, right there on the main page, you can join a step one, less than $100. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It's worth thousands more than that, at least, because of the potential of what you can do with it. And it's $98. So you ought to come join us online. You can take the step one and we can move into the rest of the program from there. But that's where you got to start. Delgado, I would say definitely practice step one first. But don't be shy. Don't think you need to get stuck there, because really where it's at for us is options. Okay. That's really where it's at. And most of our coaches trade all kinds of stuff, and I can't speak for all of them in every regard, but I can tell you that the majority of them spend the majority of their time focusing on options trading because there's so many advantages. But we definitely start with that step one first. Okay. Now, that said, I also told you guys, you're looking at this charting software here. We are going to do a free webinar, 11 a.m. Okay, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Myself and another one of our coaches, Pete Bright, are going to be on. We're going to be doing a free broadcast for you. We are going to talk about our favorite features on this charting software. I'm showing you a little. I'm not showing you a lot tonight. I'm talking about paper trading, what's happening in the market. But tomorrow, we're going to go deeper into the software, right? I'm going to show you my favorite features, and Pete is going to do the same. So you're going to see a lot more. And what's important about that for you, right? We're not just taking time out of your day just to look at some software. The reason we want to show you that is because this is something that makes it easier and faster for you to trade. Who out there would rather have something easier and faster? Well, this isn't just coming out of thin air, right? This software is designed to do the things that stock traders need the software to do, right? I mentioned scans earlier. What if we could teach you a strategy and you could just use the software to click a button and pull up all the stocks in the market that fit that strategy? That'd be pretty cool. You wouldn't have to spend time doing it. Well, the software helps you do that. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. So I've put the link into the comment box, both on Facebook and on YouTube. So wherever you are tonight, you can see that. All you got to do is sign up to Zoom. This isn't a mailing list, okay? This is just signing you up to Zoom so that they will send you the invitation so that you're able to join us in the morning, okay? You will also get a recording. So if you're not able to join us at 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, but you'd still like to see it and be notified, you can go ahead and sign up as well, because then we will let you know how to watch the replay. So what happened today? What happened today? I showed you one simple thing that showed a 100-point swing on the market. A massive reversal as I'm talking about it. I'm going to go back over there. A massive reversal just to show that we have a crystal ball. No, not that we have a crystal ball, but that we have a skill set. And that if you learn how to use that skill set, it can be incredibly advantageous to you. And in this case, when I say skill set, I added one line to the screen. I also told you that we have people who've started knowing absolutely nothing. And many of them are now coaches, right? They're now coaches who have not only a passion for trading, but a passion for helping you reach the financial goals that you have, whether you're looking to trade full time, which some of you maybe have never thought about. Sounds a little intimidating, but all it means is if I could have an at-home stock trading business that's thriving, would I want to have that instead of doing what I'm doing now, right? Some of you are away from home so much. Some of you feel the instability of the economy, of the government, whatever it might be. You're looking for other ways. You got to ask yourself if maybe that's the reason that you're on this webinar tonight. That is what we want to help you answer. And we want to give you the support and the tools to be able to do that. So go ahead, sign up on that link. You'll see us tomorrow It's free. You ought to come and join us. Tradeway.com, right there on the main page. Step one for anybody out there who has not taken it, you ought to do yourself a favor. Go take the course. You're definitely not going to regret it. I promise you that. And that said, remember, you can always email us, Market Monday, right? support@tradeway.com, support@tradeway.com. And you can reach out to me, Blair Nightingale, care of Market Monday. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, anything that it might be. I'd be happy to answer that. The team will get that over to me. I can see some of you in the comments saying we are going to be on that topical workshop. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being on tonight. Thanks for being there. Remember, whatever you learn, you can paper trade, right? You can practice without risking any real money. And then when you do go to risk real money, you have some confidence. And that is more important for a trader than I will even be able to convey on this webinar. But guess what? Paper trading, easy way to help us build confidence. And an easy way to build the right things is a pretty good deal. So you ought to get on board. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for your time tonight. And we will see you in the morning. Good night.